One of the most popular stories at Christmas time of the last 150 years is A Christmas Carol, a story that Charles Dickens wrote to highlight child poverty in Victorian Britain. The character of Scrooge was actually inspired by Ebenezer Scroggie, who lies in the Canongate Kirkyard here in Edinburgh, where Dickens misread the description of him as a mealman, i.e. a corn merchant, as a mean man, i.e. a miser. Scrooge, it turns out, was Scottish. It's ultimately a social commentary on poverty, despair, and suffering. It's not very Christmassy at all, perhaps in the same way that Die Hard isn't really a Christmas movie. But ultimately it's a story of redemption. It's gritty, realistic, and unromantic. At least it was until the Muppets got their hands on it. But then the story of Christmas itself, the truth at the heart of Christmas, is equally gritty and realistic. Even John's poetic description of it in the beginning of John's Gospel, chapter 1, describes the ultimate and most literally down-to-earth event in human history. Unlike Matthew and Luke in their descriptions of the birth of Jesus, there are no shepherds or angels, wise men, there's no star or stable, no Mary or Joseph even. Matthew and Luke describe the human story, but this is the divine angle, according to John. This is the cosmic significance of this baby born in a stable, and John knows his audience. And so he writes, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all humanity. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." In those verses there are deliberate echoes of Genesis chapter 1 and the story of creation. The phrase, "in the beginning," would have alerted any Jewish hearer to the time before time. The references to light and darkness would have recalled God's first act of creation in separating the two. But here they're not simply separate. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome or comprehend it. Darkness, you see, is powerless when light shines. And then there's the description of Jesus as the Word, the Logos. Assyrian, Babylonian, Greek, and Roman cultures of the time all had their theories and ideas about the Word, the Logos, the reason behind the universe. John reveals that it's not just an idea, not just a doctrine or an ideology, a belief or a theory. It has a face, and that face is Jesus. The Word became flesh. It has a face and a touch. The writer C.S. Lewis, who called it the great miracle, described it in these words: "The eternal being, who knows everything and who created the whole universe, became not only a human, but before that a baby, and before that a fetus inside a woman's body. If you want to get the hang of it, think how you would like to become a slug or a crab." Not very encouraging words from C.S. Lewis. And yet this Advent is to this baby that we're invited to return, where even though the world is weary, though the news is full of wars and rumours of wars, violence, injustice, pain and sorrow, we can still come and ask the light to shine in our darkness, and know that this baby, born in a manger 2,000 years ago, has seen it all before: pandemics and plagues, life and death. He lived a fully human life and died the most divine death. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has never overcome it.